Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Cleveland African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Cleveland Movies is free to watch on cleveland.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today.
Breaking transmission. We were highly having great discussions with Crystal K, who was our guest on Be Inspired, but now she's back. You know how it is in South Africa. There's load shedding, there's breaking transmission sometimes. But nevertheless, we said that we will bring her back to finish. And now she's here to finish her own told stories. Yeah, Crystal, good to have you back. Good to have you back. Good to have you back. It's been
Thanks for being so patient with all the issues. Good to be back.
Yes, we have no choice because we have to finish your untold story. So we have to wait for you. And we understand that there's always technical issues, sometimes load shedding and every other thing, internet and all that. So we understand that part very well. But moving forward, we would like to dive. We were speaking to you concerning your experience in The Real Housewife, Johannesburg, which you did.
Yeah.
Which you told us quite a number of stuff, but we didn't quite catch that because it kept breaking and breaking off, coming back. So we would like you to continue from there. Can you share again one more time your experience, your teachable spirit, something you want us to learn from that experience? Or is that something that we need to know about engaging with human beings face to face, especially when you don't know each other before or growing up as a childhood, but you guys met each other as adults? What is the issue with people? Why can't people just go together? Why can't people connect together? Why do some people choose not to go together with other people? And that's why we wanted to have you on this show, basically to learn from you, or to our viewers can learn from you that what experience did you engage with while in Real House of Johannesburg? Please share with us.
Well, I think if the viewers were watching previously, they would have picked up on a bit of the story that I was saying, in the sense that I certainly was the odd one out on the show. I was a different color. I was, I would say that was one of the main reasons why I was different. But also, I was a bit of a loner. I didn't really stick to the groups. I'm more of an independent type of person. But at the same time, I like to go after my dreams and I like to achieve. And yeah, I always wondered why the girls put me down so much on the show and why they came after me. So, I had to do a lot of internal reflection about that. Did I myself do anything to, cause that, to make that happen? Because that's something, in life we need to understand that, because jealousy is a big deal. It happens in every area of life. And also, if you want to succeed in your world, you don't want people to be jealous of you, actually, because that gets their claws out, and that's not going to be very helpful in getting you further, you know what I mean? So I think I had to do a lot of self-reflection about this whole thing, because I was abused, I was put down, I was mocked, I was told that, from I couldn't sing to I couldn't dress to I couldn't do all of these things. Actually, one of the girls, she even said that I I needed to have a bath. Like, I didn't smell very good. I mean, there was just so many aspects and ways in which these ladies tried to put me down. And I did started to feel like I was the human punching bag, I must say. And so there was those kinds of thoughts about, well, what am I doing to deserve this? Do I deserve this? Am I giving off some kind of maybe an arrogant vibe, or maybe I'm doing something to to cause this to happen. And
Yeah.
well, I don't know about that. I really try to look at myself, and I think the show was very good in the sense that it did make me look at myself very hard, and I had to look in the mirror very clearly. And
Mm.
I don't think that there was that sense of trying to be
Mm.
better than others. I don't think there was that sense of really putting others down. I do think that the differences sometimes separate you, and that can
Mm.
cause people to want to, like, maybe be nasty. And then sometimes it is just really jealousy. It can be a lot of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, we must understand maybe where things are coming from before we can actually get over them. So that was, what I had to do. And then sometimes, I guess at the end of the day, you don't know why people do things, and then you just have to move forward regardless. So I got to a point where I thought, fine, this is what they're going to do. Let me actually rise above it, and let's make this more of an entertaining type of affair. That's what the show is about. It's actually, it's a reality TV show. It's about entertainment as well. So not that I just, made it into nothing, but I think that it was an important part of me dealing with it, was actually to put it in a way that it wasn't so harmful to me. So I
Yeah.
used to just see it more as like light-hearted banter, and like them joking around, and then I would give it back to them in that vein. So I wasn't actually being nasty or vengeful, but I was, like, joking with them, and maybe it was very clever jokes, and it would make a statement, and things like that. So I got around it in a very good way, and I think I had an amazing response from the the viewers. They always came to me, whether it was Instagram or whatever, and they would write to me and say, thank you so much for being so inspiring and dealing with those ladies like you did. They were such bullies, they were so nasty to you, but you always managed to rise above it and deal with it with elegance and poise and things like that. So I was quite proud of myself that I managed to actually take on all these ladies, and they were like, there was probably about 6 of them going against me at a time. So it's quite intimidating, I guess, but I didn't really let it get to me, and always managed to end up smiling along the way. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of I watched that show. I watched that show because of you. And I know I just want to recap back at the time I met you as a person. We were There was a shooting going on in your house, and we spoke, and I didn't see issues with you. You were just easy to connect with people. So when I start seeing what's happening there, and you were asking a question, what did I do? And you did nothing wrong. It's just your personnel,
Yeah.
who you are, the difference in who you are, because you're different from every other person. And apart from that, you're very real. A lot of people there, a lot of people are not real in this world. People like to fake it and then try to
Absolutely.
make. So I
I
don't know
have to
why
agree
that,
with
but
you.
the point is, that is why I'm asking you all this question, because the point is, there was a huge support that you had, even despite all that attack on you. How did you?
Sorry. Yeah, so I think that's the thing, it's a matter of, um, like, not letting it get to you, and rising above it, and also like being real, being yourself. And I think it was funny that it was called The Real Housewives, or it's all called The Real Housewives across the world. And I think that's also why it does so well, because that's, in a sense, what people are after. They want to see the real deal, because a lot of the time, even in reality,
Mm.
we're not seeing people's realness.
Yeah, we don't see the
People
realness there.
they put on this mask, And I think also the younger people, even more so than the older people, because it takes a few years for your mask to come down. Because when you're young, like when you're in your 20s or 30s, and even 40s, the thing is that you're too scared to show the real you to the world. You're so worried about what people think about you that you walk around like blending in to what everyone expects, and you can't make your own statements, and you can't show your own colors. Even sometimes the way you dress, it's got to be like a certain mold. It's got to fit in with a certain type of fashion for this season and for this type of music, and this, we all have to be clones of each other. I think that's all about protecting ourselves. We're very, very scared to be hurt, and we're very scared to be vulnerable. And I can go into a whole speech about that.
Yeah. So on that note, I would like to ask you. So if you have opportunity to correct everything, what would you do differently?
Well,
if you have a second chance to go back into
yeah,
the real house,
I must say, I don't live my life with regrets. I never do, because I believe that I did the right thing at that time for myself, and what happened with the housewives is certainly something that at the end of the day, the bad result that happened was me getting punched in the face was not anything that I did. Like, I don't see it as that. So I wouldn't want to say, oh, I should have been more soft-spoken, and I shouldn't have challenged them, because I disagree with that. I think you must, and I encourage anyone to speak up against an abuser, to speak up against a bully. Don't keep your peace. If you actually end up getting smacked and you end up with a black eye, it's better to have spoken out and actually raised, your concerns and said to them, hey, I know what you did, okay? It's better to be that way and take some pain for it if you do, rather than be a pussy and just, go along with the flow.
Take everything, go along with everything,
right. Because then you don't have any dignity and you have no strength.
I think that apart from that, I think every human being has a freedom of expressing who they are, not trying to please people, but that's originally who you are. I think every one of us born on this earth had that right to be who we're supposed to be. I don't know what people do. I don't get along with people very well easily as well. I'm also facing what you're facing. I get attacked easily. I get judged, and especially when I'm doing church, and people with my tattoos and wear earrings, and sometimes they kind of write you off, but they don't know don't judge a book by its cover, But anyway, moving forward, let's not even dwell on that. We just keep being good. Everybody keep being good. But now, this person that you have, is there a particular person you have issues with, or just generally everyone in the house?
Well, with regards to the housewives, there were a few people that I had issues with more than others. I'm very good friends. Well, when I say good friends, I mean I have no problems with a lot of the ladies, and I still go to their houses. We still go out for lunch. We get on. We have a really good party together. So, on the most part, the girls really, they love me. I know that. They love me as a person. They don't have a problem. There was 2 or 3 people within the camp that, I know certainly were not on my side. And that's where all of this drama ended up coming from. And the problem with the media is that, and in shows like this, you don't have any rules. When there might be a rule in the contract, but when I say rules, there's no court of law. There's no place to go for a hearing to be had about this and who was wrong, who was right, and whatever. So it's very easy for producers working in this environment to just make up their mind about an artist or about an actress without really knowing the truth of what happened. People as well, they're very easy to make up their minds about what happened. I have a lot of support about what happened. The media was certainly quite fair in the way they reported it initially. Then there was a certain part where the media also got hijacked about the whole thing, and there was some false reporting that was done, which was also something that really, it gets to you as much as you don't want it to. It can.
Yeah. Of course, you're a human being.
So there's a lot of things to get over. It's not just the drama on the show, but obviously it resulted in a quite a catastrophic incident. And then the overflow of that incident to the media and how you're going to deal with that. So you have to be able to really have some tough armor on to keep moving forward and not allow things to crash, and also just to keep happy, because at the end of the day, whatever happens in your life, you need to be happy. And sometimes you actually need to be happy when there's hell breaking out around you. That's a very important trait to have. And yeah, I have seen it with some people in the show. They are like that, and I think that's worthwhile to have that ability, because if you're going to really get so depressed over everything in your life that happens, well, you're going to have a very hard time of keeping going. Sometimes you just got to say, thank God I'm still alive and breathing. Doesn't matter. If I lose it all, what's going on, thank God I'm alive and breathing, and I can still work, I can still use my hands, I can still, create and move forward. And I think if you're always grateful for that, you'll always be successful, because, no one can take anything from you.
Yeah, true to that. I've learned so much from what you shared now, how patient one should be, not to be quick to give up on themselves because what happened. And now, on that note, I would like to quickly ask you, what is your definition of success when someone says, I am successful? What is your definition? Your own type of definition, or your own explanation of definition?
Well, I do think that I have touched on it quite a lot already. But the main thing is, in the face of extreme opposition, to keep going, keep believing in your dream, and to be able to take that chance. You only get to gain huge in this world if you can risk it all. And sometimes it might even seem like you're being a bit reckless, but if you are able to do that, because you actually can lose it all. You see, that is in itself the essence of things, is if you are a person who is able to lose it all and just be on your own without anything, right? You can risk it all. And if you can risk it all, that's when you can gain all, and you can become whatever it is that you want, because of the fear is not there, or let's just say it might still be there, but you're willing to risk it all. So if you're a person who clings to things and clings to safety, which is more normal, we're all a bit like that. We all want to be safe. We want to make a calculated decision, so that even if we don't win on this, we've still got this. It's very difficult to gamble at all. I mean, I'm not saying gamble everything, but I just think that sometimes the people that have really, shot right to the top of the food chain are those that have taken the greater chances in life, and yet they have the right experience, they have the right knowledge, but they also they can take that chance, and I admire that, and I wish that I can be more that way in making decisions and walking boldly, and not walking like an ant, but walking like a lion.
Excellent. Thank you for explaining that properly. Moving forward, so let's come down a little bit to you now. So I'm sure a lot of people want to know, where were you born? Where did you grow up?
Okay. Well, I was born in Durban, in South Africa, and I stayed on the ocean most of my life. I'm a real mermaid. So I was a surfer, swimmer. I had a lovely home that I was brought up in, which was on the cliff of an ocean. And that's really my my blood runs into the ocean. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any 5 facts about you, like anything facts that people would like to know, like about you that you would like people to know about you. 5 facts.
Okay,
5.
well, I have a very strong belief in God. Okay. Jesus Christ is my savior. And I wrestle with God a lot. I find that I talk to God and I question God a lot. You know, I have like ongoing conversations. Well, prayer, but they're conversations. So yeah, I'm very much of a spiritual person, and God is certainly always there. Whether He's making me wonder about what He's up to, or whether it's just a situation where I'm so grateful that He's pulled me through this next round. You know, that is it. And I think that's a life without God certainly cannot be that meaningful. And I'm very grateful that I have that elements in my life. And anyway, so secondly, I love animals. I'm quite a freak with regards to them. I have 4 dogs, and I have a parrot called Ruby, an African grey, and I have a beautiful little Persian cat called Google. And yeah, so I love my animals. I love the finer things in life. I am quite a, princess, prima donna, whatever you want to call it, I guess. I do love beautiful things. I love fashion. I love, all the good things in life, travel, beautiful homes, beautiful things. Yeah, all of that. I have to say, I work hard to have that in my life, and it means something to me. And people can say, you're materialistic, but I think, you know what, it's where your heart is. And if you love something, it doesn't matter if it's a thing. To me, it doesn't matter that it's not a person. If it's a thing, that's still something you treasure. It's still something you love. And that's on a deeper level. It's not that you just using that to show off that you're the best person on the town and that everyone must think that you are the queen. No. When you love something, even if it's your couch, even if it's your car, you love it for yourself, and it's a relationship between you and that thing. It's not about other people. And I think that's the difference between, enjoying your things and being materialistic, where that's involved the world, showing off to the world. Okay? So yeah, that's something that I feel quite strongly about, because people do judge you, if you do like beautiful things, rich things, whatever.
Of course.
Yeah. And how many was that?
I think you mentioned like 4 or 5 now.
Yeah, so I'm also a lawyer. I studied law from when I was 20 years old. I practiced law for about 10, 15 years, and also as an advocate. And then I was supposed to be in showbiz from when I was very young. I started modeling, and I was always there. I was always doing commercials and that from a very young age. And this law got hold of me. I always have a very strong sense of justice. And it took over a large part of my life. But I do realize that the arts and media and, all of these types of things are really where I think I belong, more so even than in the courtroom. So, it's been good grounding, and I'm kind of starting my second life. People say you can have a midlife crisis. Maybe you do, but then it's important to actually start the next life after that. You know what I mean? Like see it as a new life, because it doesn't mean that you can't start something new. It doesn't mean that you can't actually be better than your first half. Why must your older half be less than? Now you're wiser, you're more experienced, you know how to think, you know how to walk. So yeah, you know, you can actually make a wonderful life the second half. And you can stay young, you really can. I believe that. So yeah.
Yeah. I hear you on that. I hear you on that. Talking about vacation, you mentioned vacation. Where is your favorite family vacation place that you like to go most?
Well, I do love island holidays. They're my best. So I would have to say Mauritius is one of them, and Zanzibar is the other. I went to Zanzibar recently this year, and I must say I absolutely loved it there too. So yeah, and they're very well. Mauritius is certainly close to home, and Zanzibar is a little bit further, but worth the travel. So
Mm.
yeah, I'd say those two are my more regular kind of places that I would go. Yeah.
Okay. If you could live anywhere,
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels, and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenard.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenard.com.
where could that be? If you're going to live, like your favorite place where you want to settle finally to live in life, where would that be?
I think that would definitely be I think that would definitely be in Los Angeles. Yeah. I feel very much at home there. Actually, I get out of the plane and it's just like I'm back, I'm home. I feel just such a sense of relief when I'm there. It's like I can really be myself. I don't feel like I need to hold myself back. I can just be who I am. I'm accepted. I have a kindred spirit almost with the people there. It's like I belong, you know? And it's no wonder because it's the city of the stars and the angels. So hey, you know?
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, and that's what's
Yeah,
pulling me on.
feel connected there. You feel like you're part of that journey. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really do. Yeah.
I hear you. That's a beautiful thing to do, to feel. If you're feeling like that, go for it. Go for it. Because
Yeah.
maybe that's where God has some plans for you, And
I
then
really believe that. And
there's
I'm hoping to see that, materialize very soon.
this note, I would like to ask you, do you have fears? And what would that be if you do have fears?
Yeah, I think everybody has fears. I don't think you can really live without fears, but I think you can limit them. And I think you can focus more on your positive, goals, dreams, traits, to minimize the fears, because fears are really just thoughts. So, if you feel like one of those thoughts that are bringing you fear that comes along and you just replace it with a more positive one, then it's going to be better. But if I was very honest and I had to say, what are my fears? I'd say, yeah, one of them possibly would be, it would maybe be, or I've got a fear at the moment because I have this beautiful home, and unfortunately, what happened is someone was going to buy it, and I didn't want to sell it, but I thought at that time that I might need to, and I entered into a sale agreement, and this person put down a lot of money and then moved in, but they didn't pay the last amount to me. So I then cancelled the agreement and told them to leave the property, and they didn't. And they've been in my house now for 2 years. So it's been very difficult because I've had to take alternative accommodation, obviously, and still maintain my home. So it's also quite relevant that I'm talking about this because I am very nervous that I'm not going to get it back very soon. And it can take years because this woman has actually appealed the decision that I won. I won the decision. I won the court case, but she's appealed. So now that means it could take years, right? And then she could stay in the property for years and not be paying, not do anything. And I would still have to be paying. So let's just say right now that is a fear that she could win.
Bigger fear.
She could win this whole case. And because of the appeal situation, because when there's appeal, they don't like to change situations around. So she's in the house now, presently, you see, and I'm asking for her to be removed, pending the outcome of the appeal. So, yeah, so it's a very frightening situation for me because if I don't get back into my house, I stand to lose the enjoyment of it. And also there's a lot of benefits that flow from my home. It's an expensive property. I also use it in my shoots. I use it in a lot of things. And not only that, it's just the amount of money that goes into actually spending cash on alternative accommodation. It's huge. It goes into the millions. So let's just say we're all scared of losing money. If there's not one person that isn't, then they're not human. So I think that's a big thing. And for me, I'm very attached to my home. Like I said, I'm a very, I love my things and I love my home. And if I had my way, I wouldn't even have sold it. And I still don't really want to do that. So, you just get nervous about losing things, losing the things you love and whatever. When it comes to what are the other fears? Everyone has a fear, I suppose, of dying. Everyone has a fear of being alone.
I think you've said it all. You've said it all, actually. You've said it all. You've said it all. Okay. On that note, that's a very, very sad story you shared there. Even though you're not, I didn't know you were going to share that, but we will keep praying for you that you don't lose your property. We will support you in prayer that somewhere you get favored by God to get your property back. It's not easy to own a property in that kind of, I know where it is. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's not easy to have a property in that kind of area, but God will favor you. You're a child of God. And being a child of God, there's no way that you will lose what God originally gave to you. You will fight for it. And you use everything you have to save it.
Certainly, thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I really appreciate it. And I really welcome all the praise in the world because it really does help. And the thing is that God bought me that house. I know He did. It was by a miracle that I actually got that house. It wasn't through my work that I made money. No, I got that house by a miracle. And when I tried to sell it, it ended up not actually passing hands. And the thing is that I felt God say.
And remember, I told you this thing. Remember, if you remember that time, I told you. Remember, you've been trying to sell. We tried. Even me, I tried. I marketed, and after a while, I said, "Leave this thing for a while. Leave it."
Yeah.
But anyway, look, let's not dwell on that. Don't worry. The same God that gave it to you will get it back for you. So let's move forward. What drives you as an individual? What drives you as an individual? What drives you as Crystal?
Well, I always believe in finishing what I start. That is something that I'm like a dog with a bone. And whatever I have in mind, I can't leave until I've actually gone the whole way with it. So with my music, it's like that. I mean, I still have the biggest dreams for my music that are nothing compared to what I'm doing now. I mean, now it's just like we're not even doing it. That's how I'm feeling like. You know, what I have in mind is really, it's huge. So, you know, I think with me, I always go all the way. Whenever I can, I try and go all the way. And that drives me. So that final picture, that final vision that I have, or whatever it is that I'm doing, you know, I always want to go as far as I can with it. That's just my nature. I can't say I'm always the most disciplined person. I can't say that I'm always, you know, going all out towards these visions, goals, whatever. But one thing that I do is I never give up. And I might back off for a while on them, but then I always go back and I pick up where I left off. And I always have a good sense of thoughtfulness towards that goal. So I can see myself quite clearly in that picture. And I think that's always a good thing to have, is seeing your identity already in that role. You know, and we talk about affirmations, visualizations. I'm very big on that. So it's very important to always see yourself already there. As much as you sometimes don't feel like you are, you have to con yourself, you do. And now this is a good time when it's okay to be fake. You know, there is a good time, and that is to fake it. And I say fake it till you make it, and I believe it. Because your subconscious mind can't actually tell the difference between reality and imagination. So if you imagine the whole time to your subconscious that you are this great superstar, or you're this great actor, or you're this great lawyer, whatever you want to be, then your mind starts to actually believe that. And that subconscious is so amazingly powerful that it's like it attracts the right opportunities to you. It sends a big signal out to the universe that this is who you are, what you are, and this is where you're going, and it brings those opportunities to you. So exactly. I believe in that, and I believe in doing those affirmations and visualizations every day, and I don't do it enough. All I can say is that those people that do 20 minutes a day, their lives are different. They have the most incredible success. Really, it's quite astounding. So, I mean, that's also something that I aspire to every day in the busyness of life and in the dullness sometimes, and when you're feeling down, to take those 20 minutes and feed your mind these amazing things. It's very simple, but the world of difference it makes to your life. And like, even when you're going through the hell, like the hell that I've had to go through with this case, you know, I've had to really struggle through to use good thought patterns and affirmations and visualizations and seeding, and you know, it's a whole thing. I mean, as much as God has given us our minds, God is a creator and we are a creator like He is. We need to use our minds to create just like Him.
Yeah, I want to ask you something quickly. Talking about visualization, talking about our minds, talking about faith, because now you're coming to that area. So I was going to ask you, what's your salvation story? When did you, because not everybody believes in Jesus, not everybody believes in God or whatever. How did you come to that space?
Okay, so I've always been a very independent thinker. And yes, I was brought up in the church. I used to sing in the church, and my mom's always been a Christian. But I've also been a rebel a lot of the times. And when I was younger, I didn't really just believe. Like, I would go to church and that, but I didn't have such a conviction about it. You know, it was more like going with the flow. It was like going to the family dinner. You know, that's how church was in a sense for me. And then what happened was I went to university and I started studying social science. And in social science, there was one course that I studied, which was a lot on communism and Karl Marx. And, he said that religion is the opiate of the masses. He says that the religion is just there to control human beings, to control society. And governments actually encourage it because it helps them create order in this world. Because if people are God-fearing, they're not going to, be criminals. They're going to get on with each other. They're going to be kind and loving. So it helps the governments. And that is why religion is there. And you know what? That made great sense to me. And I started to really believe, okay, here we go, that I think I can be a Marxian. I don't think I want to be a Christian and believe in God. I think I'll just be an atheist. So that's actually was a decision that I took. And I can tell you this, I was an atheist for approximately maybe a month. I was an atheist for a month, and I was watching TV one day, and then I saw this program about Satanism, okay? And it just struck me from this show that these Satanists, there's only one religion they go after. And what religion is that? Christianity, the cross. They're only interested in abducting Christians from nightclubs and taking them away and making sure that they become devil worshippers. They're not interested in any other human beings, only the Christians. Now, why is that? And actually, when I thought about it from a logical perspective, because that's where I was like, well, you know what? If there's this evil religion called Satanism, and they only go after Christians, that's got to tell you that there's got to be something about Christians and God and Jesus that's the truth for evil to actually be juxtaposed against it. And that started me on the path towards investigating. And closer and closer I got, and then I became a reborn Christian in the church through that start, that thinking. Yeah, wow. Very powerful.
Wow. Very powerful. That's another topic for another time when we'll bring you back. But on this note, we're going to start rounding off. We're going to start coming to an end. I want to quickly ask you any message for a girl's child or a boy's child out there that you would like to give this Christmas period for those who are struggling or may not have food or may not even celebrate this Christmas? Any word of encouragement that comes from Crystal to these people out there?
Well, I would say that it is very difficult if you don't have things and you see other children enjoying and having lots of food and presents and everything like that. But wherever you are, whether you have a little or you have a lot, we have to be grateful for anything that we have in our lives, and you need to actually look at that. Whether it's your mommy, whether it's the fact that you got a brother or sister, whether it's the fact that you actually saw a beautiful flower today that you walked past, whether someone gave you some food and it tasted good. Just the very little things. We just really need to take stock of that. And, try and enjoy and live for the moment that you're in, and see the prettiness of life as much as you can. Because there is sometimes, a lot that is not always that great, but there's a lot we can do to actually see through that and see the good things and appreciate the good things. So when we're thankful for the little that we have, we actually get more, because that's how things work. That's how the universe works and how God works, is that when we show we're grateful and we're thankful, He will give us more. And, always believe that God is there, that you just have to say a prayer and you can receive, and believe that you can receive. That's very important, is believing. Because if you don't believe, then you stop the magic, and you don't want to do that. So keep believing, and the magic is going to get bigger and better.
Excellent. Thank you so much there. That's a beautiful word from you. Okay, it's 2023 that we're approaching now. What do we expect from Crystal in 2023?
Well, firstly, I intend to get my house back, hopefully tomorrow. And then, from that point, it's all about my music. It's all about my show and getting that all going again. And when I say going again, it's actually going to be the first show. It's going to be called Keeping It Crystal Clear, and it's really gonna hopefully be very different to the Housewives, but it's also going to be very entertaining. We're going to have lots of singers on there. We're going to have lots of celebrities. We're going to have. It's not going to be a talk show. It's going to be an actual docu-series. But at the same time, it's going to have a lot of starring celebrities on there. So it's going to make people want to watch it more, and it's going to be a whole lot of interesting. So I'm really looking forward to that. I want to write a whole lot of new songs next year. I love writing. Songwriting is one of my best things in the world. And I do believe that I've got a whole lot of songs already to release that are done. So that's also going to be quite another challenge to get them all out. And yeah, hopefully by the end of the year, I could have an overseas trip to LA and talking to some people over there in terms of show, music, etc. So there's lots of things to look forward to. And I really believe that God has seen me through a very difficult time. I've had my show, that's, I could say, taken away from me, or it sounds very dramatic when I say it like that. But not being able to continue with the Housewives. And then also I've had a situation where I've had personal drama with my home, which has been occupied by another person, which has been extremely, extremely trying. And through it all, it's been a situation where I'm very happy to say that I haven't given up on God. And I think that's one of the hardest things sometimes in life when you go through hardships, is to still have hope. So, whatever you're going through, I'm sure it's wonderful. That's fantastic. Have a party, say thank you to God if you're going through a great time. If you're not going through a great time, look for the hope and hang on to that, because that's going to get you through. Yeah.
Wow. That's a very wonderful one from you. That's great. Thank you so much for that word. Even me listening to you was, sometimes we all go through something. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what I'm going through. And in that word, I could pick one or two words that comforts my spirit and my soul in whatever I'm going through. All right. Yeah, we come to an end. Where do we find you? Where, if for people listening, they want to email you or get hold of you, where do we find your music, and how can we get hold of you if for anybody out there who wants to partner with Crystal K or do some kind of business or wants to contact you?
Well, I think the easiest place is social media. Crystal K, that's spelled CHRISTALLKAY, and that's on Instagram. And then Facebook as well is also Crystal K, just my names. And I have a music page on Facebook as well, with the same name, Crystal K. And then also music-wise, iTunes, you can find me under Crystal. Yeah. So that's it. And I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much.
All right. Any last word for people out there? Any word, any encouragement, anything that you in your heart that you want to tell them before we sign off from you?
Well, I think I have touched on it already, but I mean, Christmas is coming up. It's only in a few weeks, so I'd like to really wish everybody a beautiful Christmas and celebrate the wonders of our Savior. And, I think also the other thing is we've all been through a very difficult time, this world has, and we're still recovering. Many people are broken. Many people, are broke. And we really need to just understand that there is more to this world than just money. Of course, we need it to survive, but we have to look beyond that as well. We have to look to our dignity and who we are as a person. And don't let money define you. Just be, who you are and believe, and it will come. You will survive, and you will get over it. And I'm speaking to also people out there who really have, lost everything. And just know that it's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. Nothing ever is, unless you make it the end of the world. So really, just stay strong, believe, and be kind and get out there and talk to people and love people. And you can't believe the miracles that can happen. So love.
Wow. Thank you so much, Crystal K, for having you on the show, being inspired. What an amazing time with you. And even though at the time we started, there was a lot of obstruction, but the very far end of it is actually much beautiful than the beginning. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's so beautiful to be here. Thank you so much.
And then we heard that you're appearing at Chicago's on Sunday. So what would your fans and people expect from you on Sunday? What about, because it's been advertised on social media and people are looking for seeing you perform. What is your expectations?
Well, I have some of my pop songs that I'm going to be singing. I wrote all of the songs, so they come from my heart and they're very upbeat. And I'm quite a cheeky little pop star. I like to get my point across in that kind of genre. And, they're catchy tunes. You can dance along, you can sing along. And it's about having fun and about seeing life from a happy perspective. And also knowing that, we all go through stuff, but you can also sing about it. It's not so bad. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Crystal. All right, everyone. I'm sure you've been inspired through this interview, through talking to Crystal K. I'm sure you've grabbed one or two things from her or her untold story. This is the reason why we bring shows like this to you every once a week or twice a week, just to inspire you to know that you're not the only one who's going through challenges, who's been through challenges, who's been beat down, but you need to be inspired yourself to keep moving forward. And on that note, this is where we're going to say, till we meet you on another edition of Being Inspired. But until then, wherever you are in diaspora, whether it's good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever, you keep safe. And remember to put God first in everything you do. God bless you. Keep winning. Make sure you have a great Christmas in case we don't see you again. But drink responsibly. Do not do more than you cannot do for yourself. But keep your eyes open. God bless you. Till we meet again. One love, everybody. One love. Good to have you.
God bless you.
Hello there. Looking for an African movie? Search no further. Clevenard African Movies TV is here for you. We are dedicated to the acceleration of African films, TV series, documentaries, and lots more. Explore our movies at home or on the go. Clevenard Movies is free to watch on clevenard.com. Don't miss this opportunity. Hurry now. Sign up and subscribe today.